This video is to be used for educational purposes only and is not intended to replace individual research or licensed investment advice. Unique experiences and past performance does not guarantee future results. Trading stocks, options, and spot currencies involves substantial risk, and there's always the potential for loss. Your trading results may vary. No representations are being made that any software or training will guarantee profits or not result in losses from trading. This is the Premier Trade Market Wrap.
This is the Market Wrap. Jack Lott here on the James Dix Financial Network. Demand for previously owned homes fell more than anticipated in September amid continued problems in the mortgage market, with single-family sales hitting their lowest sales pace in nearly 10 years. Overall, home resales declined to a 5.04 million annual rate, and inventories of homes rose 0.4%, which represents a 10.5-month supply at the current rate of sales. Japan's trade surplus climbed a higher than expected 62.7% in September from a year ago, as continuing strong export growth to Asia and Europe offset weaker U.S. demand. Exports rose 6.5% in September from a year ago. Microsoft has withdrawn the two remaining appeals related to a European Union antitrust order that it now says will stop fighting. The company has formally dropped an appeal against the 280.5 million euros in fines that have been levied by the EU back in July of 2006. And billionaire Warren Buffett believes investors should be cautious about Chinese stocks after the country's benchmark index more than doubled this past year. Buffett this month said Berkshire Hathaway has sold its stake in PetroChina Company, which has actually risen 76% this year alone. Merrill Lynch reported its first quarterly loss in 6 years after a larger than anticipated $7.9 billion of write-downs for subprime mortgages and asset-backed bonds. Merrill's third quarter loss was $2.24 billion, or $2.82 a share. In Forex news today, the dollar was up against the euro and lower against the yen after Merrill's huge third quarter losses were not as bad as investors had feared. Analysts said the dollar was helped by rising risk aversion, which encouraged investors to cut local market risk positions and switch back to dollars. Risk aversion also prompted the unwinding of yen-funded carry trades in which investors borrow in a low-yielding currency to buy higher-yielding assets elsewhere. Analysts also believe that in order to keep the bullish environment for high-yielding and emerging market currencies intact, U.S. inflation rates and the asset-backed security market needs to be watched very carefully. They say the dollar is increasingly being used as a funding currency. However, if U.S. inflation rises too quickly too early, potentially freezing further U.S. interest rate cuts, the U.S. will likely fall into recession, putting the entire global growth outlook at risk. Scheduled economic reports coming out tomorrow include the initial jobless claims for the week of October 20th, durable goods orders for September, and new home sales for September. In earnings news today, Boeing reports its third quarter profit climbed 61% thanks to higher commercial airplane deliveries and growth in its defense business. For the quarter, Boeing's profit rose $1.1 billion, or $1.44 a share. General Dynamics, the largest maker of armored vehicles for the U.S. military, said third quarter profit gained 24% as it sold more blast-resistant trucks and armored transports for the war in Iraq. Profit from continuing operations climbed to $544 million, or $1.34 a share. Taser International reports its third quarter profit more than doubled as sales surged and the company paid lower taxes. The company earned $6.2 million, or 9 cents a share. Analysts were looking for 5 cents a share. Scheduled earnings coming out on Thursday include Microsoft, Daimler Chrysler, Motorola, XM Satellite Radio, Frontier Airlines, Wendy's International, Bristol Myers Squibb, Dow Chemical, Ericsson, Honda, Raytheon, and U.S. Airways. That's just a few of the marquee names out tomorrow. Stocks in the news today. Amazon.com's third quarter earnings topped expectations, quadrupling from a year ago. Aflac reports third quarter profit rising to $420 million, or 85 cents a share. That from $367 million, or 73 cents in the year ago period. And that's the Market Wrap on this Wednesday. I'm Jack Lott, and this is the James Dix Financial Network.